It's a Cape Epic, it's like it can go so wrong.
It's going to be a proper battle every day, that's for sure.
Luck definitely plays a big role in this race.
It's different racing what you're used to. It's much longer.
This is a really unique style of racing, and I think the biggest thing is communication.
I think it's in marathon the most important thing to do right after the World Championship.
The race plays out over the full 8 days. The lessons are here about managing your bad spots and then not getting too carried away when you're having a good moment, because you're going to be humbled again at some point.
All we can control is the now, how we race, where we end up, and I would say that's more than enough to think about.
Every year the cards are freshly shuffled and you don't know really how good the other teams are.
You can be the strongest team on paper and actually you don't win the race, or vice versa.
Everything you've done up until this point now must continue. You are here, you have done all of the work.
It became like the Tour de France of mountain biking.
It's the race that measures all. It is the Absa Cape Epic 2025. Hello and welcome to Mirandal, which is the venue for the Prologue once again here in Durbanville, not far from Cape Town, as we set the scene for what is going to be 8 days of extraordinary mountain bike racing around the Western Cape, taking in Paarl and finishing in Somerset West at Lawrenceford Wine Estate for the grand finale. Between Mirandal and Lawrenceford, so much can and will happen that will lend drama, excitement, and enthralling entertainment to the next week as we bring you every single pedal stroke around this beautiful course. And it is a course that will test these riders. Some 750 teams will be lining up here and setting off on this journey. They will be tested. All that preparation, all that hard work, mental and physical, mechanical, that'll all be put to the test, and we're looking forward to bringing it to you for the next 8 days. But for today, we're going to set the scene here from some of the major protagonists, some of the leading lights in the elite men's and women's categories, and we have some of the very best, if not the very best racers in the world preparing to take on the challenge. And it's wonderful, wonderful to be embarking on this journey over the next week alongside a man who knows this event so deeply, so knowledgeable about the event. Although he hasn't raced it, he has been involved in every other aspect of the race, from mechanic to ending up as team principal of the specialized factory racing team over the years, guiding the most successful team to success here year in and year out at the Absa Cape Epic. Benno Willett, welcome, Benno.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me here. Super excited, a little nervous as well, because I did many things before but never been as a commentator on the show, so
I'll put this out there right now. The first thing that you're going to have to do now, the next thing you're going to have to do, of course, is ride it, because you've done everything else. Now you've commentated, and the next step is riding.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm more nervous about riding the Cape Epic or sitting in this chair with you now, but it's going to be, yeah, I'm looking forward.
Well, I mean, it is just an incredible excitement ahead of this year's race, and every year we look at it, it's going into its third decade now, 21 years, and it's you know, we can speculate as much as we like about who's going to win, but so much can happen.
No, I've been at the Epic and I have seen it all, or you think you saw it all. But the Cape Epic has its own rules. You know, it's like early season for many athletes coming from Europe, the US, Canada, from the Northern Hemisphere, coming here to South Africa into the heat, into the dust, into anything can happen. Like this race, it's testing, like you said, the riders, but also the equipment. Like things are developing every single year, but now in this race, you actually can find out if it's going to last or not. Riders, equipment, everything. And I think that is the beauty of the Cape Epic. You know, like you come here as a newbie, or you have done it so many times. Like, yes, you're more and more prepared every time you show up, but still, there's so much unknown. And that makes it so exciting.
So that is what it is about here at the Absa Cape Epic. Anything can and probably will happen to these riders. And we are focusing on the elites predominantly over the next week. But of course, there are thousands of amateurs who'll be taking on this challenge. Benno and I are sitting in the commentary box, up there in the sunshine, a bit of the breeze, and it's wonderful to have him on board. He's at the start and the finish. He'll be chatting to the riders as they start and finish. Max Clear. Hello, Max.
Hey, thanks very much, Gerald. So good to be here, everybody. Behind me is the dance floor, the start of the prologue tomorrow as we go into the first day of the 2025 Absa Cape Epic. The elite women going off at 10:48, the elite men at 12:20, and everybody else starts from early in the morning at 7 o'clock. There's a little bit of wind down here, Gerald, and I got to tell you that it is hot. Yesterday, super hot. We're nice and cool this morning, but certainly the sun is out, and this wind is definitely going to be a factor if we get into the racing just over 12 o'clock tomorrow when we watch the elite women and the elite men come down into the finishing straight. They go straight out through the start-finish line, and then, as there's always been, they get right to the top of the big climb, and then they make their way back down. It's going to be fast. It's going to be flat out. There's going to be such a vibe here tomorrow. You can see the Absa VIP just in front of me, and there's going to be just people lining the sides over here. So we cannot wait to see you all. Please tune in for the live broadcast over the next 8 days. We cannot wait to see you. Enjoy the journey with us. It's going to be 8 incredible days as we bring you the 21st edition of the Absa Cape Epic.
Thanks very much, Max. Down on the start line, it's all peace and quiet there, nice and calm. It was a misty, cloudy start there. Dutz Dorsberg in the distance there this morning, nice and cool. Early, those riders who got a chance to ride the course early this morning, and the cool was very pleasant. It's got much hotter, and as we know, this part of the world at this time of year does test you in terms of the weather and the conditions. So, and it throws anything at you. We've had floods, we've had torrential rain, and we've had brutal heat. Yesterday, the day of registration here at Mirandal, we had the official news conference for the pro riders, and various of the leading teams were selected to appear at that news conference, and it was hosted by our very own Max Clear there. And first up, we had the well, two of the legends, in fact, if not the legends of the Absa Cape Epic. 10 wins between them, each has 5. The Bulls Masters legends, and that is Carl Platt, and he's riding with Kalle Freiberg this year. And the Songa 91 team, well, of course, a man you know very well, Benno, is Christoph Sauser, who is riding with Corey Wallace this year. They're not at the sharp end, must be said, but they are still very much intrinsically part of the Absa Cape Epic, and this is what they had to say yesterday.
Cross-country Olympic bronze medalist, has 4 elite world championship titles, 3 in cross-country marathon, 1 in cross-country Olympic. He's got 14 cross-country Olympic World Cup wins, and he's riding with Canadian Corey Wallace in this year's event as Team Songo 91. Carl has completed, listen to this people, 18 Absa Cape Epics. He's had 18 elite stage wins and 17 masters stage wins, which gives him 35 stage wins at the Absa Cape Epic. He's also won the masters category 3 times, and this year will be riding with Kalle Freiberg as the Bulls legends. So that's going to be an incredible battle. So what, if anything, do these two legends have in common? Well, in 2022 they teamed up to win the NTT Data Masters category with 5 stage wins, and this year they'll both be riding with brand new partners. And that's going to be a little bit of a tone through the press conference. There's only 2 combinations here that have ridden together before, and that is either a risk or a reward as we go into this incredible event. Christoph, let's get started with you. 2 victories behind Carl now in the NTT Masters category, because you know he's won 3 and you've only won 1. Is this what inspired you to return with Corey Wallace this year as your partner for 2025?
Yeah, would be nice. I mean, we are all racers, and if you can race for a victory, the stages go much better. They are exciting than when you're off the back, trying to survive. That's for sure. But I have no idea if we have it. I'm since a long time not a pro anymore. I have good muscle memory for sure. I know how to ride, I know what to do, so I much more rely on that than being trained like a pro for sure.
Carl, let's get to you now. 18 finishes, 35 stage wins. What keeps bringing you back to the Absa Cape Epic every year? We know it's the good weather, the incredible wine, and the fast cars, but what else is it?
I think I'm addicted. I'm a little bit sick, and no, it's really, it became to my second home, and I love being here.
Christoph, how much has the race changed since your first event in 2005?
Pretty much totally, except you still have to pedal. You go from A to B, now over way more trails, left and right, where before it was big open roads, but it was very rough too, because sometimes we entered a cheap track, and it was for an hour, you just get sandblasted by proteas and thorns, and everybody looked so beaten up at the finish on their legs and arms. Obviously the competition back then wasn't as strong as now, and then the whole setup, as everybody can imagine.
All right, Carl, where do you see mountain biking stage racing and the Absa Cape Epic going in the next 5 years?
I mean, the Absa Cape Epic developed already to the Tour de France of mountain biking, and everyone wants to compete here because, yeah, you really get something big out of it, and I think it's still increasing, and it's getting the media far over the world. Even more people are interested in the race, and I think the next 5 years I see a big development again.
All right. Christoph, you had breakfast yesterday with Springbok Rugby captain Siya Kolisi, and rumor has it that he'll be at the start of the UCI Elite Women and Men's Prologue on Sunday. Can you tell us a bit more about the Songa.info Kolisi Foundation collaboration that Charisse and Isla are riding for this year?
Yes, it was very nice to have breakfast with him, and I've just seen him on TV watching the final. It was very nice to see. I never imagined I'm going to have breakfast with him. But it's not about meeting him, it's about our collaboration that both charities benefit. That means our kids, and that's what it's all about for us, giving back, because we have such a good life. Even here at the Cape Epic, and being out here on the bike, there are people struggling their whole life long, and I think it's very cool if we can do with our ride, giving back, and that's what we started in 2008, and you know, it's like he's big in sport, me, so I see there are lots of similarities, and I hope we can really uplift ourselves in the benefit of the kids.
Brilliant. Carl, last question for you. Let's talk about Blokippen, Stage 9, the official after party, which is next week, Sunday nights. Who will win that stage? Because there's rumor that Hans Becking is up for the title. Have you got any comments?
So listen, we invented the Stage 9. And it's really hard to get in our footsteps. So I turned 47 today, it's my birthday, and 47, I need to settle down a little bit, so I give it to Hans. Hans, where you? Please, go full gas. 6 o'clock in the morning or 7, I join you.
All right, we look forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, Christoph Sauser, Carl Platt, let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, we're going to get a photo here of a little face-off. There we go. All right, come on, Agiri. There we go. Give them a round of applause. Well done, gentlemen. Thank you. Good luck.
Absolute legends, superstars of the Absa Cape Epic and the sport of mountain biking. And it's so interesting because they have been here, well, as Carl Platt said, 18th Absa Cape Epic. They're part of the race, so it's the fabric of their race. But so are the brands, the Bulls and Specialized. What has the Epic done to those brands, and what roles it played for them?
It's incredible what the Cape Epic has done, I think, in so many ways. Like for us as a team back in the day, like we came here in the beginning of it, 2005 was the first time, Christoph and I, we came to the Cape Epic, and we were the newbies at the time, but also the race itself, because there wasn't even like a rule book that kind of like thought about everything that could happen within a race like this, right? So I think the first 5 years, 6 years, we were actually busy writing our own rules because you couldn't think of everything that the Cape Epic throws at you. And then from there onwards, you learn every single year. And then also the development of the equipment, like it's very different equipment you need for the Cape Epic than you may need at a World Cup, right? Like here you go through so many different terrains that are unknown. There's no training on the course either besides the Prologue maybe, but everything else is new terrain every single time you get out there. And you have to adapt to it. You need to make sure that your equipment is up to date to whatever the course, the conditions are throwing at you. And Yeah, I think both brands, Specialized and Bulls, they have always come back, and you can see on the development of riders and the careers and everything that was made out of it, it was beneficial for everyone.
Yeah, great supporters of the event. Well, that's the team NTT Masters. They're riding in Christoph, and Corey Wallace, the Canadian, is a 6-time 24-hour solo world champion. He's in fact the current world champion as well. So he's embarking on something that perhaps is quite well within his wheelhouse, riding this. But yeah, as Dennis said, it doesn't matter what your record's like over the years. The next 8 days will test you way beyond anything you've ever imagined. So he's in for an interesting week. And Carl Platt and Kalle Freiberg back again. And Carl has had various partners over the years. He's still competitive. He loves racing. As he said, he's a little addicted to the Absa Cape Epic. He just keeps coming back. And this sweet Kalle Freiberg, well, they'll be giving it their all in the NTT Data Masters. Of course, Carl and Christoph have won this category themselves as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they go against each other. Very competitive, the NTT Data Masters. Those guys really are racing hard. And Carl's got another couple of years. He just turned 47 yesterday. So a few more years in this category. But that's to look forward to. One of the many categories we'll be focusing on over the next week. But of course, the premier category is the elite men's and women's teams. And there are 50 elite UCI registered elite men's teams, 18 in the women's teams. And the next team we get to hear from is a team, well, they number 4, which is their sort of ranking, if you like, in the Epic standings here. Both won a stage. Mark Stutzman, in fact, won stage 3 last year. Samuele Porro, well, he's been coming here many, many times, and he's back again, the Italian. He's won stages as well, and they are riding for Climatizia Orbea. And this is what they had to say to Max and the gathered media yesterday.
Let's get into it now. Communication is key, especially in the two-man team racing format. What language are you two going to be speaking?
No, actually English with him. He is trying to understand a little bit Spanish. I somehow understand Spanish. Yeah, between the team. Between us, English is better for sure. But, you know, while racing, is not too many words needed. It's more about see each other. We know each other. We race a lot of time together, so it's easy.
2 Absa Cape Epic finishes, 1 stage win, best GC position of 4th place. Mark, both yourself and Samuel are new to the team. How has that impacted your preparation for this season and for this year's Absa Cape Epic?
Yeah, first I have to say we have a really great atmosphere in the team, which is important, I would say. And yeah, the preparation or our preparation was similar to the previous year. So we did 2 races, the Med Epic and Andalusia bike race. So yeah, with the Andalusia bike race, we had also the opportunity to ride together because it's a partner race. So yeah, I would say we are well prepared.
Georg Egger, Germany, 2 Absa Cape Epic finishes, 4 stage win, first in 2022, second in 2023. You are one of the only teams here that has stayed together. This is your 4th edition together. Georg, your preparation for this year's Cape Epic hasn't been entirely smooth. We know that. Have you and Lucas had any tough conversations about this? And how are you feeling about your chances at this year's race?
Yeah, definitely. So I was quite struggling last season, and also with the preparation, health issues at Tankwa, and yeah, but my training was going quite smooth. So maybe I was mentally and also yeah, belly issues stopped me from doing good at Tankwa. But I have the feeling that I'm doing way better now, and I'm ready for the race. And for sure, the experience we have together, no one can take us away. All the other combinations are quite new, and I think that's our big advantage. And in the end, yeah, we're just yeah, really hungry for race well again. Last year was also a big disaster from our side, so we want to come back as strong as we had been in 2022, and I think we're on a good way. Feeling is good.
All right, that's incredible to hear. Samuel, you've consistently been in the top 5 on the general classification over the past few years. What is your dream for this year's 2025 event?
I mean, dream is always the same for everyone, but to be honest, Cape Epic is more about drive smooth, without problems, without crashes, without mechanics and everything. So I think we are well prepared. We can go for the overall, maybe podium or something like. And well, last year I lost the win. Only the last two stages we were so close. So it will be nice to have maybe one stage win.
All right, let's get at it here. Lucas, we know how you love to race and leave it all out there on the track. As a previous winner in the overall victory, obviously, is always that goal. But what is the plan to get back to the top step of that final podium in Lawrenceford Wine Estate next week, Sunday?
Yeah, basically, I have to agree to Samuel. Cape Epic is all about being the most efficient over 8 days. Of course, there's a lot to win each day with the stage wins and having the honor of crossing the line first, being on the podium in each stage. But in the end, what really matters and what counts is in the past it was Val de Vie or Stellenbosch. Now it's Lawrenceford, and yeah, being there at the final stage, riding into or wearing the yellow jersey is all that matters. So having the best power output over 8 days consistently, being super efficient, avoiding mechanicals, avoiding physical struggles. So that's what it is. I think there's no real broken down into one sentence. It's efficiency.
Absolutely. All right, let's get at it. Mark, you've had a look at the routes. You've looked at the route profiles. I'm sure you've ridden a lot of the trails. Are there any stages which suit you and Samuel, and stages that you two particularly are excited about?
We are only scared about the time trial on the second stage, but all the other stage, I would say, we can be good.
All right. Georg, stage 2, point to point. He's just come into the time trial. It's an interesting introduction. It's a power play. It's a feature that you think will play into the strengths of the Orbea Elite Speed Company?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, probably we are one of the strongest in the flat sections, but almost no one knows that we are also fat climbers. But so I think definitely will be a big advantage to have a flat time trial, which is quite long, and you can gain maybe a lot of time. But in the end, I think the final 5 stages, like from the time trail on, will be the decisive one.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Orbea Elite Speed Company, Lucas Baum and Georg Egger, and Samuel Porro and Mark Stutzman from Klimatizia Orbea. So they are the contenders. Lots of experience here from Porro. He's been there and thereabouts. He's been on the podium, and he knows how to win stages. Newish partner, because he used to ride with various riders, including Fabian Rabensteiner. New team. In fact, in this race, there are 14 riders from the top 10 riders, top 10 teams last year, but no one has got the same team member. So it's a complete mix this year, which just adds to the enthralling category of this UCI men's race. So Porro and Stutzman, what about Benno, Georg Egger and Lucas Baum? 2022 champions, rampaging, really aggressive riding. What do you think their chances are?
As everyone else, like everyone has a shot here to win the race. Of course, 2022, they surprised everybody a little bit. The way they raced at the time was incredible. It was every stage was like the first and the last. They really went out there and left it all out there. And now, of course, everyone has an eye on them. Like if they go, the bunch will not let them go. They will stick on their wheel, and it will make racing much harder. Even Nino Schurter said, like it's one thing to win it once, but if you want to do it twice and 3 times, it becomes a whole different mission. So it's going to be interesting to see how they are. Georg apparently is not feeling 100% just yet. There was a bit of a struggle coming into this preparation, but again, like it's also physical, mentally, and again, it's 8 days where you can all figure it out.
I mentioned the top 10 teams last year. They weren't in the top 10 last year, just so in case you were wondering. They are the same combination that we hear 22, 23, and 24, but Ego had issues last year and had to withdraw. So they are very much, they're not ranked inside the top 10. They will start the prologue tomorrow in 15th place, so quite far back. But they will very much be in the picture when the shakedown happens down to the deep end of the race. Now let's turn our attention to our women's teams, and there are, as I said, 18 teams in that women's elite category. And our first two teams we're going to be focusing on are the Efficient Infinity SCB SRAM combination of Vera Losa, winner 2 years ago, and Alexis Skada. Vera won it there with Kim Lekov-Pienaar, and Alexis Skada, who was here last year, got her first taste of it, so she's getting some experience on this. And the other team we're looking at is the Women's Titan Racing SC Honeycomb pair, South African pair, Bianca Hoard, her maiden Absa Cape Epic, alongside Hayley Preen, who's taken on for the fourth time. So that is a combination from a South African perspective that really does ignite some interest. Let's hear what they had to say at the press conference yesterday.
Vera has 4 Absa Cape Epic finishes, 4 stage wins. First in 2023 with Kim Lecourt, and last year was the UCI XCM Overall Marathon Series winner. A big year last year, Vera.
Yeah, it was a good year. It started a bit bumpy, but it ended to be a good year.
Vera, what do you see as Bianca and Hayley's strength as a team, and do you consider them as a threat to you on the overall GC in 2025?
I think the new pairing, and I'm saying new because this has been like maybe 2-3 weeks out only, I think they'll surprise a lot of people at this race. I think they can do really, really well together. They are both super strong riders. Yeah, it will be exciting to see, and it's also nice to have a South African pairing at this race that I'm sure will be right up there between all the hot shots.
Bianca Hall from South Africa, a novice, back racing after taking some off on the bike, but back in the saddle and hungry to race. Bianca, you were originally down to race with your teammate Daniel de Toy. Tell us about this late partnership with Hayley and how it came together.
I was just thinking when I was sitting here, I was like, you know, this time last year I was watching Epic on TV getting inspired again. Wasn't on my bike, so yeah, it's hectic to be here. With, poor Daniela struggled at Tanko with some health issues, and I think she's got a big season ahead with huge goals, and she decided to not do Epic, and then Hayley was, stoked that she was super keen, so very cool pairing. I'm super excited to race with her.
Alexis, one Absa Cape Epic finish, 5th on the GC in 2023, national cross-country marathon champion from the United States of America. Having raced in the 2024 Absa Cape Epic and knowing just how tough and demanding it is, what have you done differently this year in your preparation for the event?
Yeah, I came into this year feeling a lot more prepared because, like, your first year, you hear a lot of stories. There's so many variables, so many logistics to think about, just a lot to think about, so many moving parts. And so I had a better idea coming into it this year. Put in a little bit more base miles, like consistently to get ready for racing hard every single day, and packing was a little easier. I kind of knew like what I needed and then also what I didn't need. I think I packed a little bit more last year, and so I think every year you just smooth things out the more you do something, and I think it's nice to feel a little more prepared this year.
Hayley Preen, 3 times Absa Cape Epic finisher, 2 times 4th on the general classification. You guys are obviously one of the favorites for the Absa African women's jersey, but with 2 4th places, I'm sure that you have even higher aspirations in 2025. What's the best possible placing you can hope for in the race this year, and which of the other teams are you guys setting your sights on?
So I think an overall podium would be amazing after finishing 4th twice, and I really think we can do it. Obviously, we always aim for as high as we can. But African jersey is obviously a big goal, and I think it's super exciting that we're racing together, South African team, and hopefully be in the mix for like the higher placings. I think the last time was Vera and Kim, who raced for African jersey too. And then I think Vera and Alexis will be good competition. Last year, I had a good battle with them, with my French partner last year. So, yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I think we'll see after the prologue, everything will kind of like play out and we'll see who we're racing against.
All right, Vera, what is it going to take to beat the likes of Annika Langveld and her teammate Sofia Gomez-Villafana in 2025? And how have you approached it in your training?
Well, my training I just do to my best ability. I don't really put that towards other people on what they do. But I think, yeah, it will definitely be the team to beat. They're super strong, super experienced, both of them. Yeah, I think it will be hard, and maybe the team that could beat them would also need a big portion of luck.
Alexis, tell us about the little North American racing rivalry going on this year. We've obviously got a big season ahead. Sophia, obviously from Argentina, Haley from Canada. It's nice to be going at it and with people you race with regularly. And obviously there's Palmares that you want to add to your CV.
Yeah, it's always nice to have familiar faces at a race, especially when you're traveling so far away. It makes you feel a little more at home. I think it'll be interesting. It's so early on in the season just to see where we're all at in our fitness. But I don't think it's really a tell-all because the racing here is so different compared to the races in the US. And so I think it'll just play out the way it plays out. And I think what will be more interesting is how we respond to such a big push and how the recovery process affects the rest of the season.
All right, Haley, have you identified a particular stage which will suit you and Bianca and gain that extra few seconds, few minutes, that extra time on your rivals? Where do you think you guys are going to be most suited this year?
So I think the time trial stage, actually, I'm quite looking forward to. The last time we did a time trial stage was 2023. And it was very different to this one. That was like all trails. I think this is more open, proper time trial. And I think I'm strong with that. I think the two of us will race really well together. But I think also later on in the race, like the last couple of stages, the Queen stage, I get better near the end. I think Bianca will too, as long as we can control it a little bit in the beginning. Yeah, so time trial stage and later on.
Haley Preen and Bianca Hall of Titan Racing SC Honeycomb, and the thoughts from the Efficient Infinity SCB SRAM pair of Vera Lossa and Alexis Scott. Nice to have the new teams, new combinations, new riders from the United States, and more coming from the USA now.
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, with the broadcast that we reach around the world, and then also the pictures, and again, like look at the places we're going to, and the competition. The competition you have here in the Cape Epic, it's world class. It's world class for so many athletes, and for many, it's their world championships, you know. And it's awesome to see more and more females coming into this race.
Yeah.
The new combinations. All of them, they have, some of them maybe the first time, but all of them, they know enough people around them to tell them what the Cape Epic is about. And there's so much footage out there, you can always look what it was, what it's about, and that's key as well, knowing what you get yourself.
Yeah, there are precious few secrets left. Yeah. There's lots of sharing of knowledge and intellect about it. But once you're on the bike, and it's your first one, like Bianca Hall there, then it's up to you. Then the secrets will reveal themselves on the trail and the surprises. So that's what you have to contend with. Right, Benno, let's now look ahead to the men's race and turn our attentions to the Buff Megamo team and to the Mbuko ChemChamp team. Let's hear what they have to say.
Marco, yourself and Tristan have come into the year with incredible form. What's the biggest advantage that you as a local team have and hold over the other international squads?
I think we can all feel the heat today, and we've been getting used to this already since December. And the trails, I mean, we constantly race around the trails. We know the conditions. So bike setup for us, we don't have to focus on it, think about it. And we sort of know how to manage ourselves in these conditions.
3 Absa Cape Epic finishes, 4 stage wins, 3rd in 2024 and 4th in 2023 on the general classification. Hans obviously dropping out and being replaced by Martin changes things up a little bit for you. How do Martin's strengths allow you guys to race differently this year?
Yeah, it was when the news came that Hans isn't riding this year, it was a bit of a setback. We
we prepared for it really well together. We did a training camp together here. But then, yeah, we decided that Martin and me would ride together, and it's definitely not the plan B. I know that Martin is, when he's 100%, he's one of the strongest riders in the world. Like a few world champs podiums, European champion gravel. So for me, it's also an honor to ride with him. He have a lot of experience, was already close, finished already second. So yeah, everybody knows that he's a super strong rider, and yeah, it's a good opportunity for us, I think.
Justin Nokia, 4 Absa Cape Epic finishes, best of 17th on the GC, and winner of the Tango Trek, also the SA Under-23 XCO champion. What is your Mbuko ChemChamps goal for the race?
Yeah, I think, as you said, I've done 4 Cape Epics now. Definitely not what I wanted, but yeah, I think I've learned a lot through the 4 epics I've done. I think I've finished only 2 with a partner. So yeah, and this year, last year, end of the year, I made the decision to change teams. I knew Marco was quite in the same boat as me, so yeah, and I know he's one of the strongest riders in South Africa, so yeah, I just made the decision to join Marco.
Martin Stasek, Czech Republic, 3 finishes at the Absa Cape Epic, 2 stage wins, second in 2022, and 2 times on the cross-country World Marathon Championship podium. And as Vote says, when you're on form, you're absolutely on form. How are you fitting into the Buff Megamo team? Obviously, they seem to be quite relaxed and a lot of fun, very different to your previous setup that you had.
Hi everyone. So yeah, I mean, it was a big change for me because after 6 years I changed the team, but I think it works pretty well. We have a lot of fun. The guys are pretty relaxed, as you said, but also super professional, and the whole team. So yeah, maybe you think that my old team was like super serious, but we also had a lot of fun, like when we were not like in the race, but also like behind the scenes, we had a lot of fun together. But yeah, so I'm super happy that I found a team with such nice people and such a nice atmosphere, and I'm pretty enjoying it.
Fantastic. Marco, how do you set about beating a powerful combination like a Buff Megamo?
Obviously, you have to watch your competition and yeah, race the race, but the Epic is a bit more dynamic than just what we see on road racing, watching your competitor and following their wheel. Yeah, it's like dust, it's how you slept the night, how you manage yourself in the heat. Are you getting a puncture? How long does it take you to fix a puncture? It's all these different things that come in play. So I think it is a race where you do need to watch your competitors and race against them, but also you have to watch yourself. And if you manage yourself and your bike well, already you're a couple of steps ahead of everyone.
All right, that's a great answer. Vote. What is the secret to Buff Megamo's success?
Obviously, we have a really experienced team, which helps us a lot behind the scenes. It's really important to have a strong team behind us. They do all the work for us, basically, after the stage, so that we can relax and recover as fast as possible. So that's something super important. And as we always say in the team, staying calm, it's the most important.
All right, Justin. Head games play a massive role in any athlete's performance, and how have you guys mentally prepared for the moments when things don't go according to plan?
I think in a race like Epic, it's a long 8 days, anything can happen and anything will happen. I don't think, yeah, it's a race of consistency where if you have bad luck, where I think every team will have bad luck or a bad day at some time because it's a long race. But yeah, it's how you're going to manage that times. If you're going to start stressing in those times and don't know what to do and start just riding, trying to get back to the front group and blowing yourself up, or trying to fix a tire and stressing, rather than just staying calm and knowing there's 6 more days ahead. Yeah, I think that's where you can also win the Epic. So
4 seasoned campaigners who know what it takes to survive this event. Do they know what it takes to get onto the podium? Particularly that South African combination, you know?
No, this is super exciting. I think those 2 guys, they have a good shot for the African jersey, 100%, but also for the overall. I think those 2 guys never underestimate a local on their own trails. I think They have a huge advantage over everyone else. They know the trails in and out. Those two guys, I promise you, they're not going to slow down when there's a snake on the trail. The others may do, because they see that every single week of their training. So anyway, I'm very excited about those two guys. Yeah, they already showed early season that the form is there.
Yeah.
They did very well in the Imbuka race and Tankwa track, and I must say, very exciting. But also Buff Megamo. I mean, Buff is one of the sponsors of the Cape Epic. That always helps a little bit as well, because they will have extra support from the sponsors next to the start-finish line. And they come with so much experience. Yeah, Hans, unfortunately, is not within the race, but they have a great backup, a team that can, again, do the impossible and be right up there.
All right, Martin Stosek and Wout Alleman, Buff Megamo, won 2 national champions, racing it out, and they're looking to put themselves in the frame to win this race. As we go now to back to the women's elite race, and 2 teams that really are going to be big contenders here. The Buff Megamo women's team, Rosa van Doorn, the European champion, and Janina Wurst, they won the Croatia 4 Islands Epic Series event last year. And the Toyota Specialized team, Sofia Gomez Villafan, of course, a previous winner here with Haley Batten, a lifetime Grand Prix winner in the United States. And we welcome her back, not in the commentary box as she was for a few years, but Annika Langvall is back. Wonderful, wonderful to have this legend back. A 5-time winner, has never not won an Absa Cape Epic that she has entered. So this is going to be sensational to see her. Let's hear their thoughts from the Toyota Specialized team and the Buff Megamo women's team.
Straight into it with Annika. 5 times Absa Cape Epic winner in 5 starts, 31 stage wins, 3 times UCI XCM Marathon World Championship wins, and the most dominant force in Absa Cape Epic history. Annika, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Annika, how is life now? I've got children. I know how busy they are. How are you managing to put it all together, and what are the changes that you've had to make, and why are you back on the start line of the Absa Cape Epic?
Oh yeah, why am I back? I never thought, honestly, to see myself in this position ever again. The last couple of years I did enjoy gravel racing a lot, so this year I figured I want to give it a go. And then Sophia said she needed a partner for this race, and I was like, okay, I can do it. I can do it. So she convinced me.
We're super excited to have you back, so welcome. All right, Rosa van Doorn from the Netherlands, a novice, your first time at the Absa Cape Epic, ranked number 2 in the World Series at the end of last year, European cross-country marathon champion last year, winner of the 4 Islands Epic, the Andalusia race, the Mediterranean Epic, and a new threat, of course, in cross-country marathon racing. Going into your first Epic and knowing what you're up against with the likes of this super team on your right-hand side, how did you change your pre-season and early racing calendar coming into the race this year?
Last year was my first marathon year, and I did a lot of experience together with the team. I learned a lot, and now we did a proper winter. Last month, Janine and I trained together in Kalpen. We did a lot of training together, and yeah, it feels like a sister for me, so I'm really happy to race this race together with her.
Sophia, from Argentina, 4 finishes, 4 stage wins, first in 2021 with Haley Batten and twice third on the GC. How excited are you about this partnership?
Oh yeah, it's unreal. Like we talked about, it would have been cool, coulda, woulda, shoulda, you know, someday have gotten the opportunity to race this race together, and yeah, to have Gravel bring Annika back out of retirement and her be down to do this race with me means the world. Yeah, and I think we both have the same outlook. We have the same, obviously we want to perform as best as we can, but we just know that this race block serves as a really good training for our spring and summer goals. And yeah, we just have such a good outlook. We're super relaxed, and yeah, we can't wait to get racing.
Janina, the experience of the Buff Megamo squad must be a big help going into a race like this. What are your expectations for yourself and Rosa coming into the race?
Yeah, definitely. We are new here, as you said. It's just to give our best to enjoy this adventure. It was a really big dream for us to be here. And with the team behind us, they have so much experience. They have helped us a lot in the preparation. And now we are finally here, and time to enjoy it.
Annika, specialized women's teams have won 8 out of the last 10 editions of the Absa Cape Epic. What would you say are your 3 most valuable lessons that you've learned to your success at the Absa Cape Epic?
It's been a long journey of learning from the very start. I mean, I was really a rookie in racing and stage racing when I did my first Cape Epic, so I learned a lot throughout the years. I mean, this race really throws everything at you all the time, at points and times where you don't expect it. So it's about just taking it like a notch down and stay cool in your head when things happen. I think that's super important.
All right, fantastic. Rosa, wearing the European Champions jersey, a little bit of pressure on your back. It's a jersey that is noticed all over the world. How does it feel to wear that jersey? Obviously a lot of pride, but that puts a target on you.
I was super surprised last year that I get the jersey. So I don't feel pressure. I'm super proud or grateful to wear, but it's also possible. It made possible by our team because they have a lot of experience. They help me a lot, and yeah, then you can make in fast moment like progress, and yeah, super grateful for that.
All right, fantastic. Sophia, consistency and taking one day at a time are critical at the Absa Cape Epic. Even if you have a substantial lead, anything can happen. Do you roll the dice and attack and manage the consequence with the risk, or do you take a more conservative approach?
Both of the above. I think it just depends. I think obviously Annika likes to win, and so do I. So I think anytime that a stage victory is up for grabs, you kind of have to go for it, especially now that it sounds like we have even more prize money and more incentives to race really aggressively. But yeah, also, you know, coming into the last day, if you have a healthy lead, then you maybe don't take the big risks.
Yeah, the thoughts there of Sophia Gomez-Villafañe and Annika Langveld and Rosa van Doorn and Janine Wurst. The racing is going to be on. 50,000 rand, $50,000 extra prize money added on yesterday. Great news. That was for the event. This is a team, yeah, we've been waiting for them to get here and race the Aramex women's category, and they've had some really good results. It is a debut. You can sense the excitement in them at that press conference. They were beaming.
They were beaming, and they can't wait to get this show going, and you can see that. Again, like the first time for them to do the Cape Epic, but they are with a team that has so much experience. Like, I'm sure when they were at the team camp, they were doing it together, most likely with the rest of the team, and they share everything. I'm sure their knowledge about the equipment, how to handle things. Again, you are responsible for everything out there, so that means you have to do your mechanic training, everything.
Yeah.
Like, it involves a lot, and it seems like they spend a lot of time together. And yeah,
how exciting is it to have Annika back?
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, for a mom, and I mean, 6-7 months ago, that's when Flora was born, and now she's here at the Tour de France of mountain biking. Like, it's not just a tough one-day race; it's 8 days of racing. And here she is, back at it, and she has a reputation. Every time she showed up, she walked home with the jersey and won the event. And now she's here together with Sophia. Her baby's here, her husband is here, or her boyfriend is here. And it's going to be very interesting to see how she handles it all.
Yep, she has said that she's perhaps not going to be in the same sort of condition she was when she arrived here for her previous events, but she's prepared to put that record on the line and take it on. It's going to be fascinating to see. The European champions in the men and women's races are here, Lucas Baum and Rosa van Doorn. That's the sort of quality we've got. 4 of the top 8 riders in the world on the cross-country circuit here. And we've got the top 8 ranked riders on the marathon world rankings right now are all in this field. That's how good this field is. National champions everywhere. Olympic champions. We've even got a road race Olympic champion here. We've got everyone here, so it's going to be fantastic. So our last 2 teams to look at are the top of the tree, if you like. The defending champion, Matt Beers and Keegan Swenson, and they'll be riding the outright Toyota Songa because they come from different brands, and Scott Schramm, Nino Schurter, and Filippo Colombo. There are titles aplenty and a hunger to win here once again. Let's hear from them.
Matt, you have a lot of respect for Nino on and off the trails, and a victory at this level is always so much sweeter when the field is stacked and you can test yourself against the very best. Does it mean more to you when you can win against Nino on a race of this caliber?
yeah, of course, Nino is, everyone knows, he's the GOAT. And I watched, him win so many titles, and it's always an honor racing against him. And it's even sweeter when I can beat him.
All right, Nino, great to have you. 8 times Absa Cape Epic finishes, 2 wins, 11 stage wins, the same amount as Matt. But listen to this, 98 cross-country Olympic World Cup podiums, 37 World Cup wins, 10 World Championship titles, 8 XCO overall series world wins, a bronze, a silver, and a gold Olympic medal. In short, the GOAT. Nino, it's always good to see you. It's so amazing to always just see how much fun you're having on the bike. Why are you back again?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I really enjoy this race. I love it as a first big highlight of a season. When in Europe, still the weather is not so lovely, and down here, it's for me it's the perfect start to the season. And yeah, it's also a different race. What we are used as cross-country racers, we are like, yeah, it's a completely different challenge and adventure, and I love also South Africa in general. So that's why I'm coming back and back, even if it's a super tough race. And yeah, it's now the 10th time I'm here, and I had some great memories, but also some bad memories. But that's what it all makes so unique, the Cape Epic again.
Right, brilliant. Keegan Svensson, United States of America, 2 finishes here, both 11th on the general classification. You are the XCO and XCM national champion, dubbed as the gravel weapon, apparently. I don't know if you know that or not, but winner of the Lifetime Grand Prix Series for the past 3 years. Keegan, great to have you here. You and Matt have spent a lot of time together over the past 2 years. What are you expecting from the Absa Cape Epic alongside Matt this year?
Oh, I'm expecting it's going to be real hard. Looking forward to it. I think Matt's a great partner for this race, one of the best, I think. So, yeah, we're looking forward to getting going.
All right, having raced against him and trained with him, you must know that the next 8 days is going to involve a fair amount of pain and a lot of watt bombs. Does it not scare you even just a little to be racing in Matt's backyard with him?
Oh, I mean, it's better to be racing with him than against him, I guess, I'm quite good at staring at the back of his wheel and hopefully not getting dropped. So, yeah, I think, we'll make a good team. We've ridden together a bunch back home in the States and raced against each other a bunch. So I think we know how each other work, and yeah, I think we'll make a good partnership.
All right, Filippo Colombo, 1 Cape Epic finish, 7th in 2021 Olympian. You took the title at the 2024 Mbuco Big 5 Challenge earlier this year. You're in incredible form at the moment. Filippo, Nino is such a strong partner, and he's a master tactician when it comes to knowing when to make the move and how to win. This is your first Absa Cape Epic together. Are you excited about the challenge, and how much pressure are you feeling personally going into Sunday?
Yeah, sure. I'm super excited to start this new type of adventure for me. And yes, it seems like I just have to follow his wheel, and it's going to be fine.
Let's get back to Matt quickly. Matt, you've raced Nino and Filippo as a team before. I think that was in the Bokerveld 2022. Is there a chink in their armor? Is there something that you think you and Keegan can capitalize on?
Yeah, we raced against them at Tonkertrek, and yeah, I knew when they teamed up, it's gonna be a proper battle out there. I think, yeah, there's no real chink in their armor, to be honest. It's just going to be some good, solid racing, and yeah, I think everyone's looking forward to it.
All right, Nino, what is it going to take to beat the likes of Matt and Keegan at this year's race?
Yeah, I think first of all, the most important thing is to get as smooth as possible through. It's like at Epic, everything can happen, and for sure you have your plan in your head, and you think that's the moment you should, but there's so much happening during that race, and the most important thing is actually to keep out of mechanical problems and without crashes, then you're already doing quite well. And then for sure you need to see how the race unfolds, and I think you need to go, see the moment when it's your chance. And it's also, I think it's one of the strongest fields we had in the past years. It's like when you see from the XCO side, it's 4 of the top 10 world ranking are here. Then we have the strongest and fastest marathon and gravel racers here. So it's going to be a really tough battle, and yeah.
Nino Schurter, Filippo Colombo, Matt Beers, Keegan Swenson, 6 titles between Schurter and Beers. Is this the year, Benno, maybe that Nino's partner might be slightly stronger than him? And it's a maybe as well.
It's a maybe. It's a big maybe. I think definitely a very, very strong team for the Prologue tomorrow. And Filippo is in very good shape. He's in such a good shape. And he's also not intimidated by what Nino already achieved. He is very respectful. I know him quite well. And I have big hopes that he's not the one that get cracked by Nino Schurter this time. I think the two of them, they will have a very good epic. As Nino mentioned, yes, looking after yourself, the equipment is a key element within this. But I think those two are going to be very strong. And then this combination, it's also super exciting. I mean, if you have been following the gravel racing in the US last year, those are the two main guys competing against each other. And now all of a sudden they in the same boat. At the press conference, my question to the two guys was, how much are you actually sharing now of your racing formulas between each other, knowing that after this race, you're going to go back and race each other again, right? But here now, they have to work together as a team. Also, super strong, lots of experience, lots of respect for each other as well. And I think, yeah, Matt Beers, he's known to share everything with his partner. That's why he was capable of winning 3 epics with 3 different partners as well. So also super exciting about this combination, riding for charities. I mean, that is a win for so many more. And yeah, can't wait to get them on the road.
Yeah, going to be fascinating. We're watching riders get to grips with one of the meanest climbs on this course, about 6 Ks from the finish of the Prologue course. A brutal vineyard climb straight up the mountain on the backside of Dorstberg. So this Prologue course is 26 kilometers, 750 meters of climbing. It's familiar to many who've been here before, but it still presents some major challenges. Taking us around the course, let's now go in the hands of 2 very skilled riders. They know their way around the bike and around the course. Jason Bull and Max Sullivan. Let's ride with them.
Guys and girls, it is Jay Bougie and Max Sully back for another Cape Epic course preview for the Prologue. Another year.
That time of year already, it's crazy. Canada running epic to epic at the moment. But back here at Mirandale, we've been here before, eh?
And we've managed to time the heat of the day to get it right at the peak 36.
Okay.
And we've got 26 Ks, 750 meters of climbing for the Prologue. Sully, what's the real feel on that climbing?
Yeah. Definitely about 1,000, but you know what? We brought the e-bikes today, so it's all good for us.
Yeah, we're regressing in fitness, but hopefully not regressing in banter. We should have a good show for you today. That's it.
Yeah.
We're rising up the slopes of Dorstberg, and you can see that glorious race village in the background. It really is an impressive structure. I nearly got lost.
The descent off the top here, I must say, is quite spicy.
Woo! Oh no.
It's just a Jeep track. The dust, oh my days! But it's can get quite unhinged.
Sully says definitely assert your dominance on the partner.
To be fair, my tyre is very old, very dry. But also, let this be a lesson. Get your finger on that hole as soon as you can. I'm quite a handy guy when I need to be. Stab my inserts, give it a little twist, rip it out, and we should be A for away. It's how to plug a tyre 101, Cape Epic edition. The weather station marks the top. Yo, what a majestic Dusty we have here.
Alright, so Sully's going to tell you where we go from here because my geography is a little bit fuzzy.
Dropping straight down, hooks slightly to the right as you'll see shortly. Quite a cheeky little off camber. Down onto the platter lines, through those pack sheds over there. Really nice long flats, and then onto the Fair Cape farm.
I can see the dam crossing.
Yeah, loop around the dam crossing there, nice little floating bridge. Doubles back on itself. You climb up through this little gully, up through a nice dry field, and into that beautiful Fair Cape descent. some really cool trails. Cross the tar road after a bit of climbing onto
Jeep track up the back.
Yeah.
The hooker crawl.
and that's probably your steepest climb up to that koppie over there. But then you hit your Toyota Tough section, and it's a lot of fun. And then you hammer it all the way back. Nice kicker back up onto Merendale, and then a cheeky little descent into the finish. I'm not sure. Oh, it is dusty. Oh my days. But as you might have heard from our Toyota Tough sections, the dust, oh my days. You can see the bottles lying on the floor already. Woo, woo, woo. The speed is insane. You either want to be on the wheel or all the way off it. Woo, woo, woo. Because the dust has you looking and not finding what you want to see. Woo. It's a lot steeper than I remember, I'm not going to lie. And I cannot see a thing right now. The speed, it's not too hard to manage it, but don't let it run away from you. Jason is here, there, and gone. But my word, that dust, nothing quite like the taste of it. Some good African soil in your mouth. 5Ks into the Cape Epic. Oh my word. That is the adrenaline.
Oh, is that on the inside?
So you'll see you cross quite a few A-frame bridges out on your route. One of those things very straightforward, easy to ride over, but you really want to manage your speed. So here's a good way how to do it. Spot on, nailed the execution, speed was just right. Bike and body, one piece, looks pretty good. It's where the likes of Matt Beers and Keegan are going to be taking names and grinding gears. Cheeky little dam and a crossing.
Send a selfie to your mum.
So this is the perfect place to do a track stand challenge with your teammates. Not with an e-bike. Sally in the gully.
Drop a couple gears. Be nice to your drivetrain.
Apparently Beards actually formed that by doing the Prologue 2 years ago. He just eroded that gully. Here comes a nasty little stinger off the climb. Back onto the flat roads. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, this route, you have good visuals of your competition on the long flats. But when you hit a section like this, rolls over down to your left, and you can spot your minute marker. Another little top tip from Sully. Lube your chain the night before. Let that stuff sink in. Yeah. Because it is not going to last with this powder. Okay. Oh, Jason almost got T-boned and he doesn't even know it. Oh, yes. Oh, it's very easy to let the speed run away there. Scandinavian. That's it. And there you have it, your final steep kick. Not of the day, but of this climb. You know what, I'm going to hop off quickly and show you just how steep it is. Oh, you can see, look at that gradient. Oh my days. Once again, a bench marks the top. I think you can eat some dust this time, how about that? Assert dominance over your teammate. Straight into it. 10Ks to go, you saw the build. And if you haven't yet, you can check out our Toyota Tough section following Marco Hubert and Tristan Nokia down here. Two absolute rippers. Woo-hoo. This is that fun we were telling you about. Whoa. Keep your eyes on the trail. Whoa. There's definitely some loose ground under tire. Take a nice hard line, carry the speed through. Perfecto. First little bit of tech off the bridge. Over some rocks. Quite straightforward, manage your speed in there. And then into the good stuff. Check out getting a bit out of shape there. Woo! Foot on, flat on, oh my word. The ball got the action. Oh, fish pull up. Yes, another. Yeah! Oh. The first race of Absa, and we have missed the trail completely. Making our way to the finish, probably about 7 k's to go from here. You're exposed out here, let me tell you. At least it's not too long lived. That little area called Pole is where the first hole in the ozone layer ever appeared, which is why it is so hot there. Don't quote me on that. Oh, that is quite nasty.
These are the moments that are going to make or break you on the prologue.
I've got another puncture.
What have you been riding over?
Once again, I've managed to puncture. There's 8th thorn. Something to be wary of.
It's like too small.
Okay, another top tip from Sully. Stay on the Jeep track.
Keep 5 plugs down by the time we get to the finish.
I don't know.
There's still air coming out of it.
Ah, that's right. 5 k's to go. Quite possibly your last little shot at rest. Coming up here, little descent, and then we're on the pedals.
Equals 0.45%. So pretty much
on par.
So the Prologue's a good measuring stick for
4%.
what you're going to be doing.
4% of your route. Nice.
Fun facts with Jason and Max.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to take another break. Alrighty, back on Mirandal. Your climbing is almost done. And by here, you'll be able to hear the race village. There will be spectators, fans and friends lining the trails as you drop down in. 2 k's to go. Stairway to Heaven, I believe it's called. Oh wow! There's a certain little left-hander coming up soon that I don't even know what Max is going to do to it. I'm way in front of that too much. I was two-wheel drifting there. Max hasn't forgotten how to let go of the brakes. I mean, hasn't forgotten how to hold on to them. Dude, I'm on the inserts on the front. And that is your finish ramp. Into the chutes. Big vibes.
And just like that, that is the Prologue route all wrapped up. Nice going, Mr. Gully.
Yeah, good vibes, eh?
Bad. More punctures than expected, but other than that,
watch out for the thorns, but yeah, not overly hard routes, nothing major to watch out for. Take it easy if you want to take it easy, go fast if you want to go fast.
Yeah.
That's it.
Come and spectate. Sunday, 16th of March, and the race carries on from there onwards. Watch Race the World on YouTube and follow the live stream if you can't be in town.
Yeah. See you there.
Beauty.
Max and Jason riding it like it won't be ridden on the race day, that's for sure. Sensational stuff by 2 real rippers. Lovely to watch. This is the route as they head from Mirandal. A couple of days here. The stage 1, first time we're having a marathon stage in Mirandal. 92 k's, 275, real tester for the riders on that first day. There's some serious climbs here. Great trails in the Tyberg Mountain Bike Club here. They've got about 200 kilometers. They'll be touching on a lot of that. Stage 2 is that time trial, 66k, longest we've ever had here. Straight, not quite straight, but it is relatively flat, 950 meters. Power is the thing there, and look out for the beer Svensson train. That could be powerful there. Then 90k's and 80k loops around Par, where it is going to be bakingly hot, and the Par Rock trails and all the trails around there, Reebokskloof, Fairview, Spice Route, they'll all be used there. And then the Queen stage is stage 5 from Fairview to Lawrenceford, and then the last 2 days, the weekend at Lawrenceford, a lap around the Helderberg Mountains, and another highly technical test on that final day for the grand finale at Lawrenceford Wine Estate. 608 kilometers and 16,500 meters of climbing, the second toughest in terms of climbing we've had for a long, long time. It's going to be a fantastic week's racing. Max, are you still there hanging in?
Toyota Tough section and taking us through the course. I think they have more fun than all of us put together, but so cool to be ready for tomorrow. We are ready here. Final sound checks going on. You can hear the guys talking in the background. Everyone's working, making sure that it's going to be a perfect day for you tomorrow. We cannot wait for you to join us, whether you're here at the venue at Mirandal or if you're watching it live on the broadcast. Enjoy it with us. Get involved. Let's make this the best Absa Cape Epic yet.
Thanks very much, Max Kleur down at the start finish, which is where he'll be on duty tomorrow, keeping very busy. This place will be a hive of activity in just a couple of hours' time. Benno Willett, finally, thanks very much for joining us. Looking forward to this week. It's going to be fantastic. This time next week, one team has won the men's race. Who's it going to be?
That's a tough question. I think I throw it out there. I don't know. I don't know. There's so many, but yes, of course. Nino and Filippo, I think they're gonna do well. Definitely specialized team. They're also gonna be there, and yeah, there's so many, and it's the Absa Cape Epic. Who knows?
All right, Benno's not prepared to put himself out there. I'm going to say it's going to be redemption time for Bear-led Speed Company. And in the women's team, I don't think anyone's going to get the better of Annika Langfall and Sophia Gomez via one of the Toyota Specialized team. That's our thoughts here. Thanks, Benno. We look forward to the Prologue here. Thanks for joining us where you are, wherever you are. Join us again for the Prologue tomorrow. We'll bring you all the action live here from beautiful Mirandal as the 21st edition of the Absa Cape Epic takes center stage in the cycling world for the next 8 days. From us all, cheers.
It's a Cape Epic. It's like it can go so wrong.
It's going to be a proper battle every day, that's for sure.
Luck definitely plays a big role in this race.
It's different racing what you're used to. It's much longer.
This is a really unique style of racing, and I think the biggest thing is communication.
I think it's in marathon the most important thing to do right after the World Championship.
The race plays out over the full 8 days. The lessons are here about managing your bad spots and then not getting too carried away when you're having a good moment, because you're going to be humbled again at some point.
All we can control is the now, how we race, where we end up, and I would say that's more than enough to think about.
Every year the cards are freshly shuffled and you don't know really how good the other teams are.
You can be the strongest team on paper and actually you don't win the race, or vice versa.
Everything you've done up until this point now must continue. You are here, you have done all of the work.
It became like the Tour de France of mountain biking.